97% entrepreneurs struggle with the survival-based identity when it comes to scaling their income. So their nervous system is wired for survival instead of overflow, and therefore they end up stuck in this place of just enough. There is enough, there is what available, what they need and what they really require, but they never seem to cross this invisible ceiling of just enough. And when we actually realize this survival identity, it is made from a very specific trait that they are constantly operating with, and the trait is creation. Visionaries and entrepreneurs, mainly who come from rags to riches or who come from a very tough place to finally making it, or who come from a very tough time to finally winning, and they have a thriving business, it's going well, it's enough. The biggest thing that they have is they're constantly focusing on creation. And creation is actually creating something from nothing, fixing a problem, solving things, right? But what you realize is when you are creating, there is always has to be this lack. There is always have to be this problem to fix, or this need, or there is some kind of scarcity, and they very well and very efficiently made their way from that scarcity. But when they get to this point of just enough, what they are really used to is creating from scarcity, and now it is enough and there is no more scarcity. They wonder like what to do next. So subconsciously, because they only know how to create from scarcity, what they end up doing is they end up creating artificial scarcity. They end up creating artificial lack. So what do I mean? What I mean is that instead of looking at where they are in their life and realizing it is enough, I am abundant, I have made it, it is great, they start to look at it as failure, as less, as scarce, and they start to connect the feeling of panic and anxiety with it, as if they're not doing enough, they're not being enough, what is there is not enough. And then, because subconsciously they only know the way to create from lack and not enough, they start creating more. The thing with this approach is they do create more, it works, but it is a very, very long route. Let me give you an example when I say that. Imagine I'm cooking a chicken, I'm baking a chicken in the oven, right? And I want it to cook fully. When it's halfway, what I do is I turn the oven off, right? And I let the heat that was built up to actually cool down. And then I start cooking again. And then when it starts to cook, I again turn it off. And then it gets cold, and then I again heat it up and do the whole thing again. In this process, what I lose is I lose momentum. Every time it starts to get to overflow, I turn the heat off, and then the temperature gets cold, and then I have to build the whole heat again. Similarly, if there's a car, imagine you're driving a car on 50 miles an hour and you want to drive it to 70 miles an hour. Instead of going from 50 to 70, which is the easiest way, what you do is you go back to zero, the scarcity, the not enoughness, and then you try to go from 0 to 70, right? When you go from 0 to 70, you lose a lot of time because from 50 you decrease the speed, you go to 0. Now from 0, you stop the car, you lost the momentum, you're not taking advantage of the inertia that the car was already moving. Now the car is stopped, you have to turn the car again, you have to build the speed, you have to come all the way to 50 and then go to 70, which is really long, which is very tiring. So instead of just saying, you know what, I can just go from 50 to 70, what you did is you made 50 an artificial lack, and you stop the whole momentum, and then you try to speed up. The new concept, instead of creation, when you are at the place of enoughness, when you're at the place of it's going well, but I would love more, you don't have to create artificial problems or scarcity. What you can do is you can go from abundance to abundance to abundance, and which is the fastest and the most efficient way. Instead of looking at your current scenario from the place of scarcity, or from the place of I haven't done enough, or from the place of it's not enough, and the reason you're doing it is because you think if I won't create a fake scarcity, I wouldn't move. But actually, if you don't create the fake scarcity, you're going to move faster, right? What you do is you realize where you are is enough. What you have created is enough. And now you are innovating from that place. You're not creating anymore. Creation is done. Creation is creating from nothing. Now you're innovating from abundance. What you have is enough. Where you have come in your life is perfect, is enough. And the greatest example of a company who does this so well is Apple. When Apple launched their first iPhone, it was the greatest thing on the planet. Everybody fell in love. They made their clients wait 24 hours in the queue at night, and they waited so long to get their hands on their iPhone. It was so good. But when they innovated on that and launched iPhone 2, they did not say iPhone 1 was crap. Now we are launching iPhone 2. They did not say that. In fact, they build on iPhone 1. They build on the momentum of iPhone 1, and they said, you know what? iPhone 1 was really good, but now we are innovating, and they're allowed to innovate. You are allowed to innovate, and that doesn't mean that what where you are right now is not enough, or what you're doing is not enough, or you have to declare it as something less, and that's the only way you can give yourself permission to move forward. You can already allow yourself to innovate from where you are, while falling in love with where you are, while being so proud of yourself, while realizing there is nothing wrong. So a lot of times when my clients start working with me, that's the thing I help them see, that you are already successful. What you have done is already enough. There is no problem to fix here. We are not fixing you. We are not fixing a problem. We are not fixing your business. What we are doing is we are innovating from the place you are. We are following the law of the universe, which has been studied and understood since the beginning of times. Evolution. You are evolving. And you get to evolve when you are a multimillionaire, when you are a millionaire, when you are a billionaire. So yesterday I celebrated one of my clients in Wealth Fountain, who within 4 months in Wealth Fountain, she became a millionaire, right? And that's what I really helped her see, that now instead of thinking this is not enough or try to find a problem with your millionaire status, see this as I made it. See this that I am successful, but you get to evolve. You get to go to multi-millions. You get to go to billions. And when you're a billionaire, you get to go to multi-billions, right? And there is nothing wrong with evolving, and you don't have to justify your evolution by creating lack of or scarcity. You get to innovate in every point of your life until you're alive. And just because you're innovating doesn't mean what you have now is any less. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's like Apple celebrated their first iPhone and it took over the world. You are similarly the iPhone, right? And you get to evolve no matter where you are and where you will go. But what you're doing right now, fall in love with it. See it as the best of you right now, with holding the vision that even better will come. And you get to evolve and innovate and produce better, but that that doesn't mean that where you are is any less, because where you are is the best of you now. I've recorded a really powerful masterclass where I take you step by step to how to release this survival mindset and actually tap into the thriving, the overflow mindset, where you go from the overflow to overflow. And the secret is not really the mind, but the body and nervous system. When you really release the survival identity from your body, from the parts of body that are holding on to survival, the nerves, the nervous system that are hanging on to the survival program, that's when you can start to implant the abundance by thinking and feeding new thoughts. But if your body is currently holding on to the survival, no matter how much you try to use the mindset tools to embody the thriving or the overflow, it is always going to be rejected by your body. So the key is to first release the survival identity and then let the new identity emerge. And this is what I teach in my masterclass. It's a 21-minute income reset masterclass. It's the greatest thing that I've ever produced, and I'm so excited. The link is in the description. It's absolutely free for a very limited period of time. Experience it, integrate it, and step into overflow and step into unlimited overflow. And I'll see you very soon.